Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Karen Cozier-Phillips. C-News is live at noon. Topping the news at this time, the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service is continuing the Riverine Flood Alert for Trinidad. As opposed to street and flash flooding, riverine flooding is more prolonged and widespread. It says data from the Water Resources Agency still indicates that water levels in a few of the nation's major rivers are high. However, these levels are anticipated to gradually decrease as no further rainfall activity is expected over the next 12 to 24 hours. Water levels in the primary Caroni River have already begun to fall, and with a low tide approaching at 7:36 a.m. this morning, this will facilitate a further decrease. Citizens in general and those residing in the Caroni River Basin in particular are still asked to be on the alert and pay attention to river levels. All necessary measures must be taken to preserve life and property. The Met Office strongly underscores that Trinidad and Tobago is not under any tropical storm threat, watch or warning at this time. And the Met Office has discontinued its rough seas bulletin. In a statement it said, by data as well as reports indicate that sea conditions over the past 6 hours have been gradually improving along affected coastlines. Currently, sea conditions are moderate with wave heights reaching up to 2.5 meters in open waters and near 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sea conditions are expected to improve further and gradually over the next 24 hours. As a precautionary measure, small craft operators, sea bathers, and all other marine interests are urged to continue to exercise caution in any sea-related activities. More than 1,000 people in the Penal-Debe Regional Corporation are said to be affected by floodwaters and damaged homes as a result of Tropical Storm Brett. Chairman of the corporation, Dr. Alan Sami, said relief workers are out in their numbers trying to assist those affected, but they are facing several challenges.
The problem, though, is that the way the water system runs or it works, the network, is that when it rains all in the Princestown area and eastern Penal-Debe area, it all has to travel through the Penal and Debe districts proper. So a lot of people are affected all within those areas. We are a little fortunate in that it's low tide at this time, but as it rains, more water comes into the system east of us. So it's ongoing and it's going to take a while. If it rains later, we're in trouble.
Mr. Sami said many people are still marooned at this time. He is also asking for members of the public to donate items which can be used by those affected, including mattresses, tarpaulins, and non-perishable food items.
Penal-Debe that has marooned some people, isolated them. I know that we are making some effort this morning to see how we could address those issues. So if one were to count those figures, it's plenty. We haven't calculated the estimated losses. People have lost, even downtown Penal, people have lost in their businesses. A lot of drowned livestock is now being revealed to us. So that too is happening. But you know, it's unfolding a little slowly, but it's coming to our attention.
And the Member of Parliament for Mayaro, Rushton Parry, is calling for assistance for several people in his constituency who were badly affected by Tropical Storm Brett. According to the MP, the roofs of more than 40 homes were blown off during the disaster. As a result, he is asking for people to assist by donating mattresses and tarpaulins. As it stands, the disaster unit of the Mayaro Regional Corporation has been trying to cover some of these homes to prevent further damage, but resources are a problem.
Demand for support. So we're trying to see as best within the constituency how much volunteers that we can get to lend some support. I mean, besides feet on the ground, you need physical items, the mattresses, the beds, the pillows, those kind of things. So we're making some headway, not as fast as people would like, but we are making some headway through my office, through the office of the chairman of the corporation also. Because of the overwhelming nature of the demands, things are running a bit at snail's pace.
He said based on observation, Mayaro got off easy after the passing of the storm, as people there are used to dealing with flooding and roofs being blown off.
We had no reports of injuries to persons, which was excellent. All of our government buildings, schools and so on remained unaffected. I think only this morning Rio Claro Hindu School reported that there was some damage to one of their ceilings. Apparently it took some water the night before. So there was a collapse of a ceiling in there, but I haven't had any reports of any other government buildings, businesses being affected by the weather conditions.
And And getting into and out of certain parts of the Sapara Regional Corporation is still very difficult. Its chairman, Dr. Glenn Ramadasing, updated us on what's taking place.
Just getting into the woodland area is very difficult, and the Pluck Road area, we still have water there. We have quite a few trees that fell and marooned certain communities. We have about 5 houses that were totally destroyed, about 27 that were damaged badly. 150 homes were impacted, and over 200 persons are in need of support, that's food and water, and in some cases appliances and furniture.
Hampers have been approved to be given to the most needy ones. The corporate sector has also contributed to assist those affected. However, Dr. Ramadasing said it may take up to 72 hours to reach all those who have been affected.
But I mean, clean water is a challenge when you have all this flooding. To clean and get the homes back in restored hygienic conditions. So that's what we are working on right now. We are sending water, and we are giving supplies of bottled water to drink. Well, we had the Murray Trace area, we had the Darsan Trace area, we had the Tick Village area. We had some parts of Cedrus and Ikakas. Those were the main ones, and Faizabad.
He confirmed no one was directly injured as a result of the storm. He said up to this morning, TNTech was working to get power back up in certain areas. This is a CNews Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at CNews Live. Well, the Minister of Works and Transport is at this time with a team touring affected areas in East Trinidad. Our reporter Marie Hull is there as well and has been sending us these videos of the current situation. The minister did speak with some residents in the affected areas and assured help will be given to them. And you can join us in a subsequent newscast for more information on this story. Education Minister Anthony Garcia visited the Ascension Anglican School this morning after he was alerted by the school's officials that there was some damage on the compound as a result of Tropical Storm Brett. Our reporter Janine Brown attended the tour and she spoke with the minister.
Good morning. So we are outside of the Ascension Anglican Primary School, where of course it was one of the schools affected by Tropical Storm Brett, and we have the Education Minister Anthony Garcia with us, who toured the school this morning, and he's going to give us just a quick update as to what's going on here. Minister, good morning.
Hello, good morning. We are here this morning so that we can have a first-hand view of what occurred. What we have noticed is that there's an immediate need for the fence to be reconstructed. I've been told by the principal that this area is a high-risk area, and as a result, the damage that was done to the fence needs to be repaired as soon as possible. When I go back to the office, I will get in contact with our department and the ministry, and also EFCL. We're going to treat this as an emergency so that the work can be done as quickly as possible, all in an effort to ensure the safety of our students. What we have found also is that TNTech has done a tremendous job in planting a new pole. You know, as you look up there, that pole is a new pole. The original one it fell, and that is what contributed to the loss of electricity, because the pole fell on the wires. TNTech worked overnight to ensure that electricity could be restored as soon as possible. Again, I've been assured that they will do everything so that the electricity supply will be restored perhaps by the end of the day. Also, Flow is here, and they are waiting on TNTech. So as soon as TNTech gives them the okay, then they will start their work so that the necessary connectivity with respect to internet and all those things would be put in place.
Okay, thank you so much. So we just heard from the Education Minister Anthony Garcia, who is giving the assurance that the damage experienced here at the Ascension Anglican Primary School will be treated and classes will resume as normal. Minister, thank you again. I am Janine Brown for CNews.
Well, several schools across the country were forced to remain closed today as they were affected by Tropical Storm Brett. Minister Garcia assured his ministry was working swiftly to ensure the other affected schools throughout Trinidad are also treated with in a timely manner. Meanwhile, in Tobago, it's confirmed 25 villages were affected by Tropical Storm Brett.
Is the residential roof. So we have a total of 5 residential roofs being damaged across the island, and we have at least 2 structural damages, one of which a home has been completely destroyed.
The hardest hit were Mariah, Scarborough and Bucco. According to Mr. Stewart, people will be on the field to help assess the damage and put a cost to it. Businesses in Tobago were not affected by the passage of Tropical Storm Brett. According to the chairman of the Tobago Chamber, Demi John Cruikshank, they did heed the call to take caution when the storm warning was issued.
We found out the tropical depression turned into a storm. A number of agencies were activated in Tobago. So we were contacted as a business organization, and immediately we had one of our members on the team with TEMA. So we were kept informed all the time.
And now is Ian Wallace with your afternoon weather.
Today should see brightness amongst the clouds as some sunshine will eventually begin to peek through, and particularly for those in those waterlogged areas. But be mindful that still a shower or two is possible, especially near the hillsides. Expect a warmer day of 31 to possibly 33 degrees Celsius. For fisherfolk and boaters, look for wind waves of 2.5 to possibly 3 meters, still possible around the Caribbean and Atlantic areas, with fresh easterly winds of 15 to 20 knots, bringing whitecaps and some spray. East-northeasterly swells remaining short at 8 seconds. Tide is high at 1:30 p.m., then low at 8 p.m. That's the latest weather, and I'm meteorologist Ian Wallace.
With the Tobago budget set to be read tomorrow, the Business Chamber is hoping the issues affecting the sea bridge are addressed. Chairman of the Business Chamber on the island, Demi John Cruikshank, said businesses have been crippled since the ferry service became unreliable when the super-fast Galicia pulled out of the country. Rishi Harinanan has more.
Businesses are crippling in Tobago, and as a result, the Business Chamber wants the Tobago House of Assembly to look at strengthening the sea bridge to address this.
We expect in the Secretary's presentation tomorrow that some serious thought should be put in place as to how we're going to assist the businesses right now, who literally is at the mercies of the financial institution. Some people reported that they had loss of sales by 40 to 45%, which is not a nice place to be. We had a decline for a number of years, and with this boat situation, it has really hurt businesses in Tobago.
He said he did meet with the Secretary of Finance, Joel Jack, and proposed several plans which can be used by the THA to encourage growth on the island in the shortest possible time.
We know we are in a recession overall in Trinidad and Tobago, but if you look at the Tobago economy, we have a niche market in terms of tourism and all the byproducts of tourism that we can turn around this island in Tobago in a very quick space of time.
Strengthening the tourism industry on the island is also very important.
The Secretary for Tourism can seriously start a domestic aggressive campaign, especially for the summer vacation coming up. And that can spin off with the little guest houses, the hotels, etc. But again, that will also depend on the sea transportation. Cal is doing their holding their end, but the sea transportation is what we need to fix, and as long as we fix that, we can see a rejuvenation of the tourism industry in Tobago.
The budget was supposed to be presented on Tuesday, however it was postponed to Thursday due to the passage of Tropical Storm Brett. Rishi Harinanan, CNews.
Nicole Dyer Griffith, one of the 3 candidates contesting the post of political leader of the Congress of the People, has defended her decision to do so, leaving the Alliance of Independence. Questions have been asked about her suitability to run for the post since she was a member of another party. But this morning she explained late in 2016 the AOI allowed her to leave the group.
And then I reapplied for membership in the Congress of the People on January the 3rd. I had to undergo an interview process and so, which was all undertaken, and they accepted the membership. and they accepted the application. Subsequent to that, I provided an application to the Elections Committee of the COP. That application had to be scrutinized, and they also accepted the application to run in the political leadership, so that if anyone is contesting that, because I saw a small group contesting that, you would have to contest you'll be contesting an entire process essentially, because I did undergo the process.
She said she has since been threatened with an injunction, but so far she has not received anything official. She went on to say she made this decision to help move the country forward. Mrs. Dara Griffith then addressed statements that the COP is a dead party.
Political music just really stopped playing with the organization, but I don't think that people went home. They are standing at the side and waiting for the political music to start back up.
The political leader of the Movement for Social Justice, David Abdullah, has denied claims that Labor Day celebrations 2017 are not as grand as in previous years. He admitted many people left the Charlie King Junction early, but that was as a result of rain and the issue of the tropical storm warning. On Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago, he also answered questions about the future of labor in this country. He said at this time the unemployment figure is arguable, very low. However, 25% of the people are below the poverty line.
It is the fact that the jobs that they have are low-paid jobs, which jobs don't earn them enough money to meet all of their needs and so on. And the trade unions have a critical role in changing that system.
Mr. Abdullah said unions have put forward policies to address this.
Labour's economic alternative plan, what they call the LEAP plan and so on. And in that they advocated ways of growing the economy so that you get economic growth, you have more jobs being created sustainably and things like that. That is what the trade unions have been doing. Of course, the media doesn't pay as much attention to that. They talk more about the agitational things, but the trade unions do advocate policies.
2,630 people have been retrenched between September 2015 to June 2017. This from the Minister of Labour, who issued a letter to the editor-in-chief of the Newsday newspaper in response to an article published recently. The article, according to the minister, alludes to several deceptive statements made by the Member of Parliament for Couva South. The Minister of Labour, Jennifer Baptiste Primus, said the 2,630 reported cases of persons who have been retrenched is a far cry from MP Indar Singh's figure of 25,000. As a result, she wants Mr. Indar Singh to cite the sources of his figures. The minister said it is disingenuous, to say the least, for Mr. Indar Singh to make a call for government to lay in Parliament amendments to the Retrenchment and Severance Benefits Act when he is aware that to date there are 4 draft policy position papers before Cabinet for its consideration. Anil Kumble has stepped down as India's cricket coach after he decided not to travel with the side for a limited overs tour to the West Indies. The Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI, invited applications for the role last month and was also considering renewing Kumble's 1-year contract. But he had a change of heart as the relationship between himself and skipper Virat Kohli became untenable, and he felt it best to move on. The 46-year-old former Indian captain, who was put in charge last June, had an impressive stint as a coach, leading India to 12 victories from 17 tests and losing just once. He also led India to one-day international series wins over New Zealand and England, with losses coming only in a 2020 series against the West Indies and at last week's Champions Trophy, where they lost to Pakistan. Well, that's it for sport. Well, that's the C News report at noon. I'm Karen Koza-Phillip. Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, you can visit the C News website at ctvtt.com. Do have a good afternoon.